Talon lost Reaper, Widow, and Sombra after Vendetta took over, but she is replacing them really fast. Let's have a look. Things are moving fast within the Overwatch universe. Mere hours after the Spotlight event, where we learned that Doomfist was dethroned as the leader of Talon, and him taking the scenic road out of the office. Vendetta is already making some big moves in expanding her freshly claimed empire. A new comic that released a few days ago showed that the Talon Council looks very different under the new management. For one, she was really quick in updating the logo that was behind her, and at the table we can still see a few familiar faces. There's Maximilian, who managed to buy himself a way onto the council by means of some information. There is, of course, Moira, Sanjay, and that big house-shaped person is Moga. There's also a few new faces, like Gold Chain Man, Gold Chain Woman, and the Talon receptionist. I mean, she kind of looks like she... Never mind. But my point being that I have no idea who they are exactly. My guess is that there's some of those people that she brought over from Colosseo. Just like she brought over the Colosseo gladiators to be part of the Talon army. And with the help of Fishcar, she's equipping them with some new tech. Oh my god, these guys are going to be trouble. Now the council members that are missing are Widowmaker, Reaper, and Sombra. I already predicted in an earlier video that Reaper and Sombra were going to take their leave, that they were going to bail on Talon. For one, Sombra looked extremely shocked in the moment that Doomfist went through that window, and things went really bad so fast that there is no reason for her to stick around. Over the last 10 years, we have seen multiple times that Sombra has her own agenda, so to speak. Her alliance with Talon served a purpose, and with Vendetta taking over, that is no longer the case. As long as Talon operated in the shadows, she could use that as a tool to get all of the information and leverage that she needed to find out who is behind the whole conspiracy organization, the Eye, or whatever they're called. Basically the organization that is controlling Emre, in my opinion. But Vendetta is going to have Talon step out of that shadow really fast by the end of this comic. On top of that, Doomfist knew that Sombra had value. In my opinion, he was well aware of what she was doing, her kind of a double agent thing. But as long as he got out of her what he needed, he didn't care. Vendetta, on the other hand, she would care. For many reasons that I'm not going to address right now. And on top of that, there's Emre. Like I said, we think he's being controlled by the organization that she is trying to kind of uncover. Things are just getting a little too close for comfort, so it makes a lot of sense that she tapped out. She will most likely find new alliances in her quest. She already did at this point. And yeah, I do think Overwatch might be one of them. Reaper, on the other hand, he is never coming back to Overwatch. He left Talon because, for one, he didn't agree with Vendetta's leadership style. He knew that she was trouble, and on top of that, he knew that she was going to eventually kill him, because he knows that she knows that he killed her dad. It's a little complicated, but she stated as much, and the clock was just ticking. One morning, he was going to wake up in the Talon base, and there would be something very strange in his morning coffee. Now, I do think that this might be the end of his career, in an organized sense at least. There is a chance that he might join another faction, but I'm not even sure who that could be. There's also the option that he is the one to find Doomfist and to kind of get him back on his feet. But, you know, there is also the possibility that he just takes distance from all of that and basically has a bit of a redemption arc with his family, not with Overwatch. I think the fact that he missed his wife and his child so much is the last bit of humanity that was left in Reaper, the last part of Gabriel that was in there. And I think circumstances are going to force him to tap into that, and that we might see a story develop right there. And then there's Widowmaker, Amelie. That one really surprised me. I did not expect her to leave, although she looked quite shocked too when everything unfolded. But the thing is that Amelie is, even more than Reaper, very dependent on Moira, on all of the chemicals that she cooks up for them. For Amelie, that helps her to basically control her breathing, slow it down really, really hard, to the point that she turns blue, but that helps her to get those shots. That is what makes her Widowmaker. But more importantly, it also helps her to suppress certain memories that she does not want to have anymore, like the fact that she killed her own husband. So now that she left, she might still be attached to Reaper to some degree, but she might also just have gone back to Paris, to her estate, and at that point she's going to have to face her demons. If she runs out of stock, if she no longer has those chemicals, it's going to get tough. I'm very curious how this story is going to unfold, what they're going to do with her exactly. They have a really good option to dive really deep in what was the difference between Amelie and Widowmaker, and to give a bit of depth to that character. On the other hand, they could also choose to take a different path and kind of have her continue the way she does with a different group. In any case, that leaves Talon without some of their best agents. But on the other hand, Emre is joining Talon. Although, I don't think they can count on him as much as they think they can, because he clearly is under the control, again, conspiracy. But I'm going to dive a lot deeper into that whole topic in a different video, because there's so much going on right there. Oh my god. And then you have Freya, who is standing beside him. Now, she claims it is because of the money. Yeah, I'm not buying it. And it's not because she's supportive of everything that Vendetta is doing. It's all about Emre. She knows something is wrong. She knows that he's being controlled. She wants to figure out what is going on. She does not want to leave him behind. She wants to be at his side at all times. And if that means she has to join Talon in whatever they're doing, that's what she'll do. Now, that whole new team has been working on some plans to basically assault Watchpoint Grand Mesa, which actually is under the control of Helix Securities right now. I made a video about all of the evidence we found in that direction on Powder Keg Mine, which is a stadium map, a few months ago, where the Deadlock gang basically stole one of the telescopes that was used on the lunar colony and is spying on that base and gathering information. And I always figured that Emre was tied into that, but it turns out it's not in the way I thought it was. He is actually on the other side of the fence, so to speak. Just like Ash and the Deadlock gang. They are on her side as hired muscle, which surprised me a little bit. I mean, yeah, sure, they're the Deadlock gang, but Ash is morally not that skewed as people seem to think. She wouldn't like people to notice, but she has a pretty big heart. It's a lot of bluster, a lot of yelling, screaming, but in the end, she's quite okay, so that surprised me. But I guess money talks, which works really well for the Hashimoto clan. They are committed to deliver weapons to Vendetta, and those weapons, those blades, will most likely be made by Kiriko's dad, who is still being imprisoned by the Hashimoto clan. This is going to start off a very interesting chapter about the Hashimoto clan, and is hopefully going to give us a bit of an idea of what is going on with Hanzo right now. Hanzo did not join Overwatch like his brother did, and he has that one perk that allows him to hack health packs by shooting with his scanning arrow, and that actually shows Hashimoto logo over it. That raises so many questions. There's people saying that he stole that tech, but I'm kind of worried that something else is going on here. I think we're going to find out pretty soon. Now, the final faction that Vendetta is trying to convince to join her whole legion, so to speak, are the Junkers. She's sending out Maga down under to have a chat with the Queen and try and convince her to join Vendetta. And if she should choose not to, Maga has to take care of it. First off, I want to see that conversation between Maga and the Junker Queen. I want to be there. I don't want to see like a no, I want to be there. If someone could fly me over there, just, I don't know, get my passport sorted. I want to be in the room when those two meet. That's all I'm saying, because I think it's going to be one of the funniest interactions we've seen in a while. But on top of that, I don't think the Junker Queen is bending the knee to anybody. I'm not saying that she's going to choose the Overwatch side, but I don't think she's going to join Talon either. I think she kind of has her own thing to do, her own problems to solve. I think she's just going to do what she did with the previous Junker King and leave him out at the gate. But we'll see. That, however, does raise a few questions, like who is going to side with Overwatch? I think Helix might be a partner that they can count on, especially now that Farah has joined Overwatch. I mean, they need to recruit more people and find allies, because Vendetta made it very clear what her plans are with Overwatch. At the end of the comics, she sends in the troops, much to the surprise of her fellow council members. I mean, Sanjay looks completely shocked, and the gold chain lady and the receptionist are not happy either. While Emre and Freya are just kind of trying to squint their eyes so they can't see the mayhem that Vendetta has unleashed upon Gibraltar. Yeah, Overwatch has been recruiting. There's a lot of new members that joined. And there are quite a few options when it comes to other factions that they might align with. There's Volskaya Industries with their huge mechs. Talking about mechs is Mecha. And there's going to be rogue figures that are just roaming around that might align themselves with Overwatch, like Sombra. And look, I'm not sure what Max's deal is right now. I don't think he's as loyal to Vendetta as he claims to be. He wasn't even that loyal to Doomfist to start out with. We know that he had plans. He wanted to get away from Doomfist because, in the end, Talon was just bad for his business. And if Talon was bad for his business under Doomfist, it's going to get so much worse under Vendetta. I think we're going to see some interesting things happen in the Overwatch universe in the coming weeks, months, and years. And in the beginning, it's going to get really difficult and hard for our heroes. Overwatch is going to get the rear end kicked really hard, especially in Gibraltar. But you know what they say? From conflict comes strength. Wait, who said that? Oh yeah, guy that flew out of the window. But what do you think? Is the queen going to join Vendetta? Or is she just going to keep Marga in Junkertown and make him her husband? Let me know in the comments or come tell me during my streams over on twitch.tv/DeemziesTV. See you there. For now, however, that was it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It always helps me out. I also want to thank my patrons and YouTube members. You too can become a member over on patreon.com/theomnicpost and right here on YouTube to unlock exclusive rewards. If you have a few minutes left, maybe check out one of my other videos. But above all, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Bye bye.